So when you sat on a motorcycle, make sure that your mobile phone is not mounted on your tank bag. Instead, I would suggest mount it on your handlebar. So when you're looking, you don't take your eyes off the road completely. However, when you have your mobile phone on your tank bag, you're completely taking your eyes off, looking at your mobile phone and going back to riding or whatever you're doing, God knows. Yeah, so basically we're trying to avoid distraction. We all can agree on one thing, that distraction can take one's life off a motorcycle. However, we don't speak a lot about it. Music, for instance, music can heighten your experience. You have music for every kind of mood that you are at while riding, or every kind of mood that you're looking for. But music completely insulates the ambient noise around you, and that could mean huge consequences depending on your circumstance, of course. So yeah, the first case, if you're riding within town, please avoid music. I did get a chance to ride around Bangalore recently, and I just found out that it's a new trend amongst youngsters especially, that they wear this huge headphones, probably to look cool or something, but please don't. However, if you're riding long distances, yes, music can help, but I would suggest to start off your trip without music. Let the experience of riding long distances set in your mind, and let's say after you've done like 50 or 100 kilometers, get your music back on, no problem. However, if you're on music, make sure you stick to your left, and make sure you're not an impedance to anyone. If you're riding through a mix of highways and villages, please turn your music off, because you don't want a distraction and an incident in a small village way far away from your home, and that could spell huge trouble. The next distraction, and the most stupidest one, in my records at least, is an intercom. I would say, if you think you need an intercom on a motorcycle ride, you're a spoiled brat. See, unless yapping was an essential for riding, I don't think intercom has any place on a motorcycle, because you're just spoiling yourself for no good reason, right? If you're just on the road, you're not in a war zone, for fuck's sake. And for people who think intercoms are very, very essential on a motorcycle, I would suggest get yourself a car. You don't need intercoms, you don't need a helmet, you can talk to each other like a fucking pussy. And I don't know, a motorcycle is supposed to test yourself on how hard you are physically and mentally. Don't be a bitch. Motorcycles are not for bitches. The next modern distraction, I would say, is charging your mobile phone on the ride. Today you have a lot of motorcycles that come with inbuilt chargers, and there is a purpose to that, but please don't use it when you're on the ride, because if should anything get stranded, or should your own hand get stranded, it's first pulling your handlebar to a direction that you don't want to pull into. The easy solution to that is just get a power bank. Nowadays you get power banks with fast charging capacity, and even the entry level phones now have fast charging, so
Let's say you're on a 500 kilometers trip. You're not going to do 500 kilometers in one stretch, right? You're going to stop, you're going to have some tea, you're going to have some food. If not both of those, you at least need a little rest. So, as far as I can say, an average rest break is anywhere between 15 to 30 minutes. And yeah, you can always charge your phone through your power bank. The power bank, your cable, nothing is in sight and nothing is gonna tamper your riding experience. If you really are low on battery, turn your fucking phone off and charge your phone as it is, and you'll get more charge into your phone in that way. The solution is as simple as that.
Rear view mirrors are imperative to a bike's safety because you want to know who's passing you or who's right behind you and where that person exactly is. But however, if you end up checking your mirrors quite a little too often, it's not safe.
You have to condition yourself to, look at the road more than on the mirror. If you do spot an idiot in the mirror, if you do spot an idiot on your mirror, just go to your left, be patient, the idiot will pass you and everything's gonna be fine again.
I did title this video as the biggest distraction on a motorcycle, so I'm on it. Please just be with me. Now, picture this, you're on your bike, you've started it up, you've built revs, the bike is in gear and you've let it go. What do you think is the first thing your mind is gonna search for?
How pathetic should that be, don't you think? You don't want to feel the G-force of acceleration. You don't want to feel or experience your vision blur at higher speeds. You don't even want to listen to your exhaust note, but you want to chase a stupid number on your fucking speedometer. Yeah. That's so pathetic. If that's not mental illness, I don't know what is. See, the biggest immediate consequence of looking at your speedometer every often is you're putting yourself into an obligation, and you have to maintain a certain speed, and that doesn't matter where you are. So when you try to maintain speed on an open road like this, it's not a problem, but when you do that within town, you're compromising on your safe braking distance, you're compromising on which kind of an overtake to go for and which to let go. And that is a huge compromise on safety itself, I feel.
Constantly looking at the speedometer, trust me, every second, every millisecond adds up into a huge time off the road that you're paying attention to.
We're all addicted to our phones, aren't we? We just want to stay up to date with everything that's on social media. And I would go as far as to say that behavior has seeped into your riding experience. You want to know everything about your bike, right? How fast it goes, how many kilometers I've done, what was my lap time, for fuck's sake, I don't know what that means on an open road, but you have features with that. You have speedometers that come with that feature. It's just gone to a stupid level, I think. As stupid as having a tachometer on an automatic scooter, and people pay extra money to just get that stupid display on their automobile because that's more advanced, I think.
The irony in all of this is The government mandates 15% error on every manufacturer that has to go into the speedometer. So, in simple English, 100 kmph on your speedometer isn't 100 kmph. Let that sink in.
You do end up feeling like a jackass, don't you? Because, see, you made so many compromises looking at your speedometer, and all the while this device has been lying to you. 100 kmph is never 100 kmph in real life, and people, I am sure, have risked their life to get to that 100 kilometers. I think that's why government has created a mandate in the first place. The government is aware of this mental sickness, I think. This is the first time I'm making a content like this. I always wanted to discuss basic aspects of motorcycling, and I really see that no one's talking about the distraction one would face on a speedometer, despite having so much motorcycle content out there. I really feel most of the content creators are just a bunch of sheeps. Like, one makes a content about counter steering, every other sheep needs to do that. So I thought, let's talk about something that really matters. I'd like to hear from you on what you feel on this kind of a content, because I do have a lot to talk about. And yeah, motorcycling is a huge subject, and it doesn't matter how different we are in person, we always have this one connection which comes through motorcycles. Yeah, I guess I'm getting regular in my uploads, and I would see you on the next one. Have fun, guys. Keep riding. என்ன 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 பண்ணல